Meeting of Parliamentary Committee on Naga Political Issue underway at Kohima's State Banquet Hall, Kohima, with all the elected members of the Legislative Assembly, including both MPs of Upper and Lower House. Likely present significantly, meeting considered to be a crucial one to take forward a long-pending Naga political issue towards solution. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Paton proclaims NSC and IM's demand to include a separate flag and constitution, causing delay in resolving Naga political issue. Paton also clarifies that Government of India has clearly indicated that it is in no mood to entertain the demand of flag and Yejabo. IM's demand for flag and constitution delaying peace talks. Nagaland witnesses highest spike in COVID cases since April, with 14 new COVID-19 cases detected in past 14 hours, with 6 new cases detected in Dimapur, while 5 in Kohima, 2 in Longleng and 1 from Zenapoto's. State's active caseload has now gone up to 61. National Health Mission Employees Association of Nagaland to extend unconditional support to proposed Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association. Agitation says NINDA set to start its next phase of strike from July 18 to pursue its demand regarding the superannuation of medical doctor to 62 years of age. Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome you all to Nltv News Now. I'm Asan. Let's look into details. So, a meeting of the Parliamentary Committee on Naga Political Issue is held at the State Banquet Hall, Kohima on Saturday. It has been anticipated that all the elected members of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly, including the MPs of both the Upper and Lower House, attended the meeting. Significantly, the Parliamentary Core Committee meeting is considered to a crucial one to take forward the negotiations with the stakeholders over the long-pending Naga political issue that has hit the rough patch since 2018. Though several efforts have been made, with A.K. Mishra being appointed as government emissary last year to bring back the Naga peace process back on track, with series of meetings taking place between Government of India and NSC and IM and NPG delegates separately over the last couple of months. The resumption of peace process is a possibility. However, in recent times, the war of words between NSC and IM and the NNPGs over the framework agreement and agreed positions acceptability has hinted that amicable solution is yet far from its destination. So viewers, to know more about Core Committee's meeting today, let's talk with Dipendu and get some highlights from him. Yes, Dipendu, hello. If you can hear me, I would like to know about the meeting that has been held today.
Yes, Asan, I can hear you, though the audio is a bit low. But as just the information that has come out from Kohima is that the meeting of the Parliamentary Core Committee on the Naga political issue has just ended almost half an hour ago. It is the second meeting in this month, after the first meeting took place on July 6th at the state capital. So this is the second meeting that has taken place in this month, to bring back the impending Naga political issue back on track. As far the last time when Neba Kruno briefed media, he appealed all the executive members, all the lawmakers of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, including both the member of parliament from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, to attend the meeting. So, although it is not, we do not have the detailed information that who has attended the meeting, but it is expected that all legislators and both the MPs were present during this meeting. So, in a while, Neba Kruno is expected to brief the media about the outcome of the meeting or any key decision that has been taken in this crucial core committee meeting. We are yet to know about those details. Our reporter is stationed there at the moment. Chrono briefs media. We'll get more updates on the developments that took place today in Kohima. However, it holds a very crucial significance, this meeting, as over the time the Naga peace process has hit the roadblocks for, you can say, since 2018, when Nltv was at helm of the negotiations as a governor also and interlocutor to the Naga peace process. Later, he exited Nagaland, as we all know. Last year, A.K. Mishra came into the picture, and soon after A.K. Mishra came to the picture, several rounds of meetings took place both in New Delhi. Even Mishra visited in Camp Hebron, the NSM headquarters, in the month of April, where he met General Secretary of NSM, Twingeling Muiva. But however, as it is a very known fact that the point that has been causing the delay is about the NSCN-IM's demand for a separate Naga flag and constitution. In fact, yesterday also, while attending a function at Dimapur, Deputy Chief Minister of Nagaland, Y. Patton, also said that this is the demand. We are about to show the news in the next, after this story is over. So that will be also addressed to the viewers. But it is he has clearly stated, Deputy Chief Minister of Nagaland also has stated that the demand that has been placed by NSNIM for a separate flag and Yezabo, the constitution, it's a major point of, you can say, altercation between both the stakeholders. And as soon as the demands are not met, NSCN-IM is also not showing any sign of going ahead with the peace talks. Meanwhile, the government of India has over time and again has said that the ball is now in not their court, it's in the court of Nagaland, the NSCN-IM and the stakeholders to take a decision. And so this is the point of clash, over and time again. So, and the role of the core committee of Naga political issues is very crucial, as Chief Minister Rio himself has said that they are acting as a facilitator to the whole process. They are not directly the party involved in the peace process, as it is between the NSCN, the Government of India and the NSCN and the other group that is called the Naga National Political Groups, the 7 Naga National NNPGs. So the core committee is playing a role of a facilitator as far as the peace process is concerned. So now, today's outcome will decide that what will be the next step for the core committee, how they will deliberate between the stakeholders of the Naga political issue that is entered its 25th year. As we all know that in 1997 the ceasefire agreement was signed with NSCN-IM. So from that timeline, it has been 25 years. But here there is no sign of Naga political issue heading towards amicable conclusion. So the core committee's role as a facilitator also here is very much important. As you know, all the high-profile Naga leaders, including Chief Minister Rio, Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton, one of the high-profile minister Neba Kruno, they are all involved in this core committee. So, and as I said, all the MLAs and the MPs are also a part of this meeting right now. So it is very much important that that the outcome somehow gives a shape that what will be the future step for the Naga peace process and what. So that's why it's a very significant meeting today. But we are waiting for Neba Kruno, the spokesperson, to come out and brief media about the outcome of this meeting, and that will give us more insights and more information regarding today's meet. Awesome.
Okay, Dibyantu, thank you so much for coming live and speaking about the core committee meeting. So viewers, moving on to the next news, we have Nagaland Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton has proclaimed that the delay in resolving Naga political issue has been the demand of NSCN-IM to include a separate flag and constitution for Nagaland. So Patton's comments came during interaction with media while attending the 16th Freshers' Come Annual Day at Unity College, Dimapur on Friday. Peton asserted that unless NSC and IM resolve the issue with the government of India, the UDA coalition government is in the state is unable to do anything. The first framework agreement was signed with Government of India and NSC and IM on August 3, 2015, while Working Committee of 7-member NNPGs signed the agreed position with the Government of India on November 17, 2017. Peton also maintained serious talks will be deliberated during the core committee meeting, which has now been held today at the State Banquet Hall. Nagaland on Friday witnessed the highest spike since April 24 with 14 new COVID-19 cases. 6 cases were detected in Dimapur, 5 in Kohima, 2 in Longlang, while Zinapur district reported 1 case. Notably, state's active case load has now gone up to 61, while total tally is at 35,592. Meanwhile, 33,271 people have recovered from the disease so far. Furthermore, the COVID-19 death toll remained at 763 as no patients died in the last 24 hours. National Health Mission Employees Association Nagaland on Friday resolved to extend its unconditional support to the proposed Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association agitation. Notably, NIDA is set to cease work from July 18 to pursue its demand regarding the superannuation of medical doctors to 62 years of age without any criteria. Meanwhile, NEAN decided to extend support during an emergency meeting held on July 14 in Kohima. NEAN further appealed all its concerned members to coordinate and cooperate with NIDA officials during the agitation period. The Nagaland Directorate of School Education extended submission of application formats for recognition, upgradation and renewal of recognition from June 30 to July 23. Notably, those informed all private schools of the state under elementary sector that it will not entertain any late submission after the given date. Structures constructed on illegal occupation of government land at Nagaland Assembly Secretariat Kohima were demolished on Saturday morning. The eviction drive order was issued by IAS Deputy Commissioner Kohima, Shanavasi, on 14th July for people to vacate the area. However, with notice being issued and the failure to comply with the order, it suggested that no other options were left other than to carry a drive. So the magistrate Kohima Sardar, along with SDOC and police security, demolished 3 structures and sealed 1 house which were illegally occupied in government land at Nagaland Legislative Assembly Secretariat Kohima. The eviction started in the morning around 8:30 a.m. under the supervision of SDO Sardar, Chumbentang Izang and SDOC Nokpai Konyak. Nagaland TV, while speaking to some of the evicted individuals, stated that they had bought off the land who claimed to be owner of it and stated that no evict notice to them has been issued. They stated that the drive was all too sudden and these acts were wrong.
Yati dukan ko rais na ina na dukan ko thagado malikan mahan nati wala malikan di mahan ko ko nai ina na tahani like government order handi ahabi mahandu ku na jane nya ho achanak aja ina mahala nya gorbia ku de ita dum handu ku de buyo na achanak family ekta ase achanak jaina kunna gore buyo family ase gule do jaina manna gore buyo le na pare itu do bishi galti kiba kure ase ta hamni na
কিমান দেৰি হৈছে ইয়াতে বহি কিনে আৰু আপুনি কোন কোন বহি আছে
মই আৰু মোৰ হাজবেণ্ড মোজনে বুহে ইনাৰ না লাইক মোজন বুহা দই নি 5 months ইনা আছে এতিয়া
তো এইটো নটিছ দিয়াৰ মালিক কানে একো খবৰ কৰা
নাই একো খবৰ দিয়া নাই তাহান এইটো মানুহন কোনবা দু কুই থাকে লাইক আহে আছে ইনা না হলি মহাঙ্গি আহে না একো ইনা খবৰ একো দিয়া নাই ইনাৰ না আচানক আজি আহে না ইনা গৰ ভাঙাই দিছ না
তো বুহাৰামতে ৰেন্ট কান কিনে তে আয়ে
ৰেন হান্দু মহান্দু ইতা একো ইনা do নাই
বাচ্চা তো 6
ও বাচ্চা ছুটা
হয় ছুটা তো আজি অলহলে আছে না কিনছি উলাদি কো আছে না কিনা না করে যাব ইয়া তাতে বটে খান্দার মানু বটে যাব আর খান্দে ইতি যাব আবু খান্দে কি করে দিলে না la dina ni ko ni sakina ni ko se ona ji ko ibne na ti ko
nida
just ask her to speak to us na thakia mama ase maybe ahi kine na aste para na ibne ko ase to iti para ko
Minister of PWD Tongpang Uzukam on Friday said that the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act has opened a big window for the Nagas and that it will benefit those interested people in taking up business to establish their enterprises. While addressing the inauguration program of the Magnus Hotel and Restaurant in Mukokchung, Uzukam also mentioned that the COVID-19 pandemic has made all realize that people have to work hard for self-sustenance. He also added that many youth have taken up entrepreneurship after the pandemic. Minister said that the state government has adopted a resolution on the SARFAC Act 2002 to help business people and aspirants to take loans by mortgaging their assets to establish their business under cadastral surveyed land. Uzukam asserted that the state invests a 6% fund in development activities and the remaining 94% is spent on salaries and government employees. However, as per the government directives, 65% of fund should be spent for development and 35% for employment. In this regard, he mentioned that time has come for Nagaland to transform the salary economy into capital economy. Decades-long land dispute between Kuza and Mutsale village finally resolved. For over 9 decades, Kuza and Mutsale village were engaged in constant confrontation, which sometimes proved to be fatal. In order to resolve the matter, a boundary monolith was laid between the village on Friday. Notably, this monolith will stand as a testimony to the mutual commitment of both the villages to live in harmony and fraternity with each other. It will also stand to mark the end of animosity and hostility. Notably, this was made possible by the goodwill gesture of MLA Kuzoluzo Ninu of 19th PEC Assembly constituency. Keta Law of NNC, FGN, Jopa Vero PEC Area Public Organization, patronage of Deputy Commissioner of PEC District, Ravozole Dozo, and the compliance and desire of the two villages to live in peaceful coexistence. In the recently declared data of National Institutional Ranking framed by Union Minister of Education Dharmendra Pradhan, under Union Ministry of Education, institutional ranking showed an expository record of Nagaland's Premium Institute for Higher Education. Nagaland University fails to show any improvement in the last 2 years, lingering in the 151 to 200 band in the university category. Among the Northeast institutes in the universities category, Guwahati University ranked highest at 36th, followed by Tezpur University 59, Northeastern Hill University 66, and Mizoram University 78. Nagaland University's best performing record since launch of NIRF in November 2015 was in 2018, having ranked 95, which declined to 101 to 150 band in 2019 and 2020. Prominently in NIRF 2022 ranking, Nagaland increased its number of participating institutes for the ranking a total of 10. Accordingly, as per the official release of MOE, all institutes from 2023 will be unified on matters of all institutional accreditation presently done by NAAC and program accreditation done by NBA as announced by MOE. Radically, the state's only institute of national importance, NIT, features nowhere near in the top 300 list in the category of engineering. NIT Nagaland had its last best rank in the 151 to 200 band in 2017. Nagaland is set to get its first medical college in Kohima. While speaking on a review meeting, Minister of Health and Family Welfare S. Pangnew Pom on Friday said that various issues pertaining to manpower and other requirements for Nagaland's first medical college have been resolved. Earlier, the minister had said that the construction work of the building is on the verge of completion and 60 posts have been created for the faculty members. Furthermore, he also mentioned that the classes for various courses of the institute is scheduled to commence from the next academic session. Meanwhile, matters related to medical college in Mon were also discussed up to an extent. New Life Bible College had a dedication prayer camp launching program for LPZO worship band on Friday. The prayer was held at New Life Bible College, Purana Bazar. K. Nifato Chishi, Acting Youth Secretary, WSBAK, prayed for everyone. Meanwhile, the program was attended by college students and many others seeking blessing for the band through mass prayer. As the program started, the chairperson introduced the band members. The band members' aim is to focus mainly on gospel songs, and they also said that in future, if they are given a chance, they will release a track. On this regard, Nltv team spoke with Dr. Mugahi Achumi, Director Gospel Light Ministry.
The LPZO worship band itu LPZO ko to Greek laga kota ase aro itla matlab to hope ami kan isor phale hope thaka laga e phale sai kena ami kan itu worship band to khuli kena ase worship band to ami kan main focus to ami kan eternal life sob manu salvation papole phali ami kan la theme to inaga ase ami kan la gana kora pra ami kan bra worship kora man itu worship kora pra ekta hole bi isor phali anibo karna ami kan itu koshish koribo gana koi diase isor bra opportunity dise kole to ami kan kot bi isor karne jabo aro dusra dibi jabo karna plan ase itu ami kan laga member kan sob dimor laga ase aro ami kan to plan kuri thaka to this month 17 para start kuri kina neighboring churches kan de worship tour jabole plan ase aro itu
Guwahati on Friday exported 600 kilograms of lemon to London as a part of export consignment. Taking to Twitter, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma expressed his happiness over the first consignment of the export plan. Chief Minister said that he was happy to export the first consignment of Assam lemon to UK, which was dispatched from Buxa. About 600 kilograms of lemons have been sent as part of export commitment by producer at the rate of rupees 30 per kilogram for about 80 tons over the next 2 months from Gati Salbari. The centre has listed 24 bills, including the Cantonment Bill, the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Bill, and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Court Bill for the monsoon session of Parliament that is scheduled to commence from Monday. Some of the other bills listed for introduction are to promote the Coffee Bill, the Development of Enterprise and Services Hubs Bill, which proposes to revise the Special Economic Zones Act 2005, Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Amendment Bill, the Warehousing Bill, and the Competition Bill. Meanwhile, two separate bills for Constitution Amendment to revise the list of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes for Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu are also listed for introduction. Amid unparliamentary words row, the Lok Sabha Secretariat on Friday issued advisory prohibiting distribution of any pamphlets, leaflets or placards in the House during the monsoon session. As per the established convention, no literature, questionnaire, pamphlets, press notes, leaflets or any matter printed or otherwise should be distributed without the prior permission of the Speaker. It may be mentioned that the advisory came in response to the opposition creating ruckus at the Parliament complex for not being given permission to hold demonstrations and dharnas. We have a new information on infamous Gujarat riots that took place in 2002 surfaces. According to the latest information, social activist Testa Setalvat, former State Director General of Police R.B. Srikumar and former IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt were bribed by the political advisor Ahmed Patel of the then Congress President Sonia Gandhi to allegedly frame then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi and destabilize his government. Furthermore, they had accepted rupees 30 lakhs from Patel to do the task. This information was revealed on Friday by special investigating team that had been formed to probe Setalvat along with R.B. Srikumar for their involvement in criminal conspiracy and forgery. Notably, Gujarat riots broke out after 58 pilgrims were burnt alive on the Sabarmati Express train at Gujarat's Godhra railway station on February 27, 2002. Moreover, the riots led to the death of over 1,000 people. With very few days remaining till the commencement of the monsoon session of Parliament, the former BJP President Lakshmikant Bajpai has been appointed as the new Chief Whip of BJP in the Rajya Sabha on Friday. Furthermore, Bajpai succeeded the position from Shiv Pratap Shukla. Notably, Bajpai has been elected to the Legislative Assembly of Uttar Pradesh from Meerut for 4 times. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday inaugurated the Bundelkhand Expressway in Uttar Pradesh's Jalon. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath was also present on the occasion. Earlier, the Prime Minister arrived at the Kanpur airport where he was received by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and other dignitaries. The 296-kilometer 4-lane expressway has been constructed at a cost of around 14,850 crores and it would give a major boost to connectivity and industrial development in the region. Officials said that Modi government has focused greatly on connectivity and infrastructure. In the last 7 years, the length of national highways in the country has gone up more than 50% from 91,287 kilometers to around 1,41,000 kilometers. While the foundation stone for the construction of Bundelkhand Expressway was laid by Prime Minister on February 29, 2020, and the work on expressway has been completed within 28 months. Well, right now, breaking news coming in from Kohima, and that is after the meeting of the Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga political issue, which concluded on Saturday. Neba Kruno, who is the Minister for Planning and Parliamentary Affairs and spokesperson of Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga political issue, has said that the negotiations over the peace talks have concluded on 31st October 2019, and therefore the Core Committee has asked Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah along to invite NSC and IM delegation to formally conclude the talks. During the meeting that held in Kohima State Banquet Hall, the Core Committee adopted some key resolutions. It said that the Parliamentary Core Committee welcomes the positive initiatives being taken by the Government of India and the working committees of the NNPGs in regard to the ongoing peace dialogue between the Government of India and the Naga national political groups. The committee also appreciates and welcomes the efforts made by the Naga political groups in taking the talks forward. The Parliamentary Committee, while welcoming the statements and observations made by various organizations and individuals calling for unity and early solution, appeals to all sections to refrain from making statements that may create misunderstanding and disunity and that may stand in the way of our common and collective endeavor to achieve genuine and lasting peace. The Parliamentary Core Committee also appeals to the negotiating parties to refer to the competencies as reflected in the Framework Agreement of 3rd August 2015 signed between the Government of India and the NSC and IM to arrive at a mutual acceptable definition of competencies to resolve this contentious issue at the earliest and bring about a final talk that is honorable, acceptable and inclusive. Since the talks has been concluded officially on 31st October 2019, the Prime Minister and the Union Minister, Home Minister is urged upon to invite the NSC and IM leaders for an early conclusion. While the Parliamentary Committee is not a party to the Naga political negotiations, it is playing the role of facilitator, representing and reflecting the voice of the people, and this role will conclude to be pursued in a serious manner. They said that we stand by the commitments of the constituent political parties as reflected in their respective manifestos to bring arrived Naga political solution.
Mainly, there is a touching on the 31st October 2019, where the talks has been concluded. Touching on that, we are requesting the Honorable Prime Minister and then the Union Home Minister to invite the IM leadership for conclusion of the talks. For them, they have already agreed. For them, anytime, there is no issue. But I have a leadership that got the issues. But since the talk has been completed, now we want to request another Prime Minister and the Home Minister to invite them for the final. Now, mainly there is a touching on the 31st October 2019, where the talks has been concluded. Touching on that, we are requesting the Honorable Prime Minister and then the Union Home Minister to invite the IM leadership for conclusion of the talks. What about NLTV? For them, they have already agreed. For them, anytime, there is no issue. But I have a leadership that got the issues. But since the talk has been completed, now we want to request another Prime Minister and the Home Minister to invite them for the final. Now, mainly there is a touching on the 31st October 2019, where the talks has been concluded. Based on that, we are requesting the Honorable Prime Minister and then Union Home Minister to invite the IM leadership for conclusion of the talks. What about for them, they have already agreed. For them, anytime, there is no issue. IM leadership has got issues. But since the talk has been completed, now
So viewers, to have more grips on this news, let's talk with Dipentu and get to know more about the resolutions that they have come about during this Parliamentary Core Committee meeting. Yes, Dipentu, would you like to continue from now on?
Yes, Hassan, as we have just informed our viewers a while ago that the meeting that took place today at State Banquet Hall in Kohima, where the Parliamentary Core Committee on the Naga political issue met for the second time in this month to discuss the future roadmap of the Naga political issue, which has been impending for the last 25 years. So now we have just got the recent information that during the meeting, as the Parliamentary Core Committee today, they adopted 4 resolutions. And meanwhile, speaking to media, the spokesperson for the Core Committee, Naga has specifically said that they have agreed, or they have once again reiterated that as far as the official talks are concerned regarding this peace process, it has concluded by 31st October of 2019. Mind the deadline. Today, the Core Committee has clearly stated that the talks has been concluded officially on 31st October 2019. Therefore, they have appealed the Honorable Prime Minister and Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and they have urged upon the NSNM leaders also to come to an early conclusion. That means there is no point of further negotiations. The talks are officially over. So now the only thing is that all parties should come for an amicable solution. Specifically, it hints that as far as the stand is concerned, the government of India has maintained its stand that they are not going to honor the separate flag and constitution demand that has been placed by the NSC and IM. So accordingly, on the same tone, Neighbor Kano's statements hold the significance, as in fact the resolution, they have taken 4 resolutions today, and the third resolution that clearly states for the viewers, once again I would like to repeat for our esteemed viewers that the point 3 of the 4-point resolution clearly states, I quote, the Parliamentary Committee appeals to the negotiating parties to refer to the competencies as reflected in the Framework Agreement of 3rd of August 2015, signed between the Government of India and the NSNI to arrive at a mutually acceptable definition of competencies to resolve this contentious issue at the earliest and bring about a final solution that is honorable, acceptable, and inclusive. So since the talk have been officially concluded on 31st of October 2019, the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Union Home Minister is urged upon to invite the NSNM leaders for an early conclusion. So this point once again there is no mention or there is no message from the Core Committee that they stand with the demand that has been placed by NSNM over the separate flag and constitution, neither they endorse. So on the same line, being on the same page with the government, it indicates that it will not accept, the Union Government of India is not going to accept the demand. That is what indicates from this resolution. And while, as they have also clarified their role, that the Parliamentary Committee has once again reiterated that they are not a party to the Naga political issue, as I just mentioned in my previous briefing, that they consider them as only the felicitator representing and reflecting the voice of the people of Nagaland, and so they will continue to play the role in a serious way. That's why they have maintained their stand, and that the most important line that came out from Neighbor Kano's mouth while he interacted with media is that officially the talks are over. Now the Government of India, Prime Minister and Home Minister should call the NSC and a delegation for an early conclusion. However, as far as negotiations and changing or putting some other demands into the peace talks, it is very much unlikely, as officially the talks are over by 31st October 2019. So now it will be interesting to see that after the resolution has come out, what will be the stand taken by the National Socialist Council of Nagaland IM faction, as they have reiterated that they have over the timing and have stated that they stand firm to the demands of separate flag and constitution. So after this resolution taken by the core committee, now we'll be waiting for the response from the NSCNIM side when they make a statement or they brief media about their stand or their clarification. So that will be interesting to see. But as of now, I have once again to inform our viewers, today the Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga Political Issue held a meeting at capital city of Kohima in the State Banquet Hall. They have adopted 4 resolutions, but out of the 4 resolutions, they have already said that they have welcomed the Working Committee of NNPG's Government of India for all the initiatives. But the most importantly, the main thing that Neba Kruno informed during this meeting is that officially the talks are over. So there is now time that the Government of India and NSNIM should come to an early conclusion. Meanwhile, the talks or the peace process is over.
Yes, Dipendu. If you can hear me, that simply means there would be no separate Naga flag and constitution, or there would be no independence for the Nagas. So keeping that in mind, and also the question that I would like to ask you now is regarding this core committee, which has asked Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also Union Home Minister Amit Shah, including NSC and IM. They have invited this delegation to formally conclude the talks as at the earliest. So what is your take on this, and what would be the conclusion that would come about?
The conclusion means that officially, there should be an amicable solution to be that. A conclusion means a formal process of ending the peace talk and come to a conclusion. That is what the indication is coming out from a core committee, and they have invited both parties, the Union Government of India and NSNIM also. So that is what the meaning is, that formally there should be a signing between both the parties, both the stakeholders, including not only the NSNIM, including all the other stakeholders of the peace process. So the peace Naga, that means the Naga peace process or the Naga political issues should come to a conclusion. And since it is very much interesting to see that since Nagaland is stated for election in the next year in 2023, so often time again, Chief Minister Rio has also stated that he wants an early solution, and preferably before the 2023 election. So the time frame we have to keep in mind is barely few months away from the elections. So this timing holds a very much importance as far as the peace process or conclusion is concerned. And as I said, that officially the talks are over by 2019. So now the Government of India and NSNIM delegations would formally conclude the talks. And there has been clearly mentioned that if you maintain the stand that was taken on 31st October 2019, at that point also, it was clearly indicated, and later also, on several occasions, the Government of India has said that the ball is now in the court of negotiators from Nagaland, the NNPGs and NSNIM. So it indicates that in anyhow, the Union Government of India is not considering to accept the demand that has been placed by NSCNIM over the separate flag and constitution. So somehow it is clearly indicating that whatever now the next course of action will be from the Government of India side, they have stated their role clear. So now that's what it is important, that what will be the answer or what will be the response from NSCNIM regarding this stand. So that is to be seen as and right now.
Well, viewers, we have heard from Dipendu. He has mentioned about the resolutions that have been passed in today's core committee meeting, and also he has spoke about the talk or the early conclusion that all the Nagas or all of us have been waiting for. So let's expect that the solution would come at the earliest possible time, and let's hope for something positive. Well, viewers, moving on to the next news, we have AAP has decided to support Yashwant Sinha for the upcoming presidential polls. It was decided after the party's political advisory committee meeting on Saturday. Notably, the meeting was attended by Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and other members of the party's political advisory committee. Meanwhile, the presidential elections are scheduled to be held on July 18, followed by counting of votes on July 21. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is said to be recovering well from COVID-19. Notably, Stalin tested positive for coronavirus on July 12, upon which he was admitted to Kaveri Hospital, Chennai on July 14 for investigations and observation. It may be mentioned that the hospital treated him and informed that though the Chief Minister is recovering, he has been advised to rest for some days more. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Congress top leader Sonia Gandhi spoke to Stalin over the phone, inquired about his health and further wished him speedy recovery. Well, viewers, that will be all for now in the bulletin. Keep watching Nagaland TV.
अरे तूने अभी तक कुछ किया ही नहीं।
अरे ये तो लो क्वालिटी टंकी है।
होशियारी मत दिखाओ, दुकानदार ने 5 साल की गारंटी दी है।
अरे 5 साल छोड़िए, इसका पानी